All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh. Whoa, that's annoying. Didn't know it made a noise. All right. Awesome, guys. Figured I'd hop on here. Today we're going to talk about attorneys and a couple tips when you're looking for an attorney, as well as if you happen to be an attorney and you watch my channel or watch any of my videos. I'm currently looking for attorneys in the following states. And it's because we have cases that need attention right now, or we potentially have other cases that we need to refer over. So if you happen to be an attorney in any of the following states, feel free to reach out to me at my email, nick@overidgerefund.com. I will leave that in the comments, so you should be able to see that. So right now we have cases that we need attention for in the state of New Jersey, the state of Alabama, state of Virginia, state of South Carolina. We did have a need for Pennsylvania, but I think we're covered there. What else? Yeah, that's it for now. So current cases that we have that we need attention: Alabama, New Jersey, South Carolina, Virginia. Okay. So if you happen to be an attorney in any of those states or know an attorney there, feel free to reach out to me. Now, guys, when you're reaching out to attorneys, understand that you will probably have to reach out to a multiple law firms. Okay. The bottom line is, and this is no disrespect to attorneys, I know that a lot of attorneys are extremely busy and many of them have more cases than they know what to deal with. And so many attorneys are not great at communicating. Okay. They're not great at getting back to potential clients. So understand that when you are looking for an attorney, if you just reach out to one or two law firms and you expect to get an attorney, let me help you reframe your perspective. In order to find one good attorney to help you with your cases, you will probably need to reach out to a minimum of 10 to 20 different law firms, maybe more. Okay. Now, why is that? Number one, the reason I already stated is many attorneys are extremely busy and they let things fall by the side because they are already swamped with cases currently. Okay. Reason number two is this niche of surplus funds is relatively unknown, even for most attorneys. So when you reach out to an attorney, many of them will not have experience with surplus funds. It may actually be the first time that they've heard of surplus funds. Okay, so be aware of that. Many attorneys aren't even aware of surplus funds or how to go about helping clients recover surplus funds because they are not aware of the niches involved. What I have found is most attorneys do not specialize. A lot of attorneys are what I would refer to as a jack of all trades. They try to cover a wide variety of different law, personal injury, bankruptcy. Some of them may do criminal stuff, small claims. What else? Divorce, right? Case. And a lot of law firms will actually kind of market their services as, oh, we can do anything for you. Okay. And the problem with that is because a lot of them are jack of all trades, and not necessarily experts, many of them have not had the experience with surplus funds that a more niched down attorney might have. Okay. So that's another reason why you're going to have to reach out to several different firms in order to find one good one. Okay. Now, what types of attorneys should you be looking for? What types of attorneys will have the greatest likelihood of actually knowing what surplus funds are or actually having experience with surplus funds? Here are the top 3 types of attorneys that I have found have at least a basic understanding of surplus funds and how to claim. Foreclosure attorneys, foreclosure defense attorneys, and bankruptcy attorneys. Those are the top 3 types of attorneys that I look for, or that I have found in my experience have, a good working knowledge of surplus funds. Okay. Foreclosure attorneys, that's obvious why they would have experience with surplus funds. These are the attorneys that are representing the banks, or they're conducting foreclosures on behalf of banks or on behalf of counties or individuals. Okay. So sometimes they may not have the ability to help you with surplus funds because it could be a conflict of interest. It just depends on their firm's policies. Okay. Foreclosure defense attorneys, they would have experience with surplus funds. These are attorneys that help homeowners avoid foreclosure altogether. They help them, stop a foreclosure sale. So these are good prospects. I found there's not a ton of foreclosure defense attorneys out there, but they do usually have a good knowledge of surplus funds. The third type of attorney, bankruptcy attorney. Now, bankruptcy attorneys they oftentimes are aware of surplus funds because they will often help homeowners file bankruptcy to stop a foreclosure sale. So they may have they may not have experience recovering surplus funds, but they should have an understanding of what surplus funds are and how they work and how they are generated. Okay. So that's another good, a good type of attorney to reach out to when you are looking for attorneys is bankruptcy attorneys. Okay. So those are the 3 types of attorneys that I look for. Here are just a few other tips to help you when negotiating your fees. Okay. A lot of people are afraid of getting into surplus funds and learning that they need to use an attorney because they're like, well, attorneys are expensive and I don't have money for attorneys. Okay. Listen to me closely. Attorneys can work on contingency, meaning they can get paid when you get paid out of the surplus. Not all attorneys will be open to that type of arrangement, but many of them will. Okay. Never hurts to ask. You just have to be aware of that. And you just have to negotiate. Everything is negotiable. Okay. You can also negotiate a flat rate fee for your cases, for your filings. Bankruptcy attorneys I found are usually pretty open to that. They oftentimes work on a flat fee arrangement for their bankruptcy cases. So they're also open to doing a flat rate for surplus funds cases. And then you also have your contingency arrangement, which is they take a percentage, which I mentioned that already. Then you can just do their hourly rate. Okay. A typical surplus funds case that's uncontested, meaning there's no competing claims, it should not take an attorney more than 4, maybe 6 hours of work to file a claim. 6 hours is a lot. 4 hours is pretty average. Okay. Now you can help save on attorney's fees if you have an example of a petition that you can provide to your attorneys, and then they can use. They don't have to draft something from scratch. That can help save you a little bit of costs. And then, of course, you can always combine your fee arrangement in different ways. And what I mean is, for example, let's say you negotiate, hey, I'll pay you 6 hours worth of time to submit this claim for me, but then maybe their hourly rate is recouped out of the surplus. Or you could do the same thing with a flat rate arrangement where you say, hey, based on the amount we recover, you can get X flat rate fee. Okay. And it goes up based on the number of surplus you're able to recover. Okay. That's another arrangement. And that flat fee comes out of the surplus. So those are things that you can negotiate, guys. so that you don't have to come out of pocket for attorney's fees. Okay. So yeah, that's a few tips for you when it comes to finding attorneys. We talked about the 3 types of attorneys that I look for, as well as talked about, negotiating fees and that sort of thing. So I hope that helps you guys. I wanted to pop on here real quick. And then again, I mentioned in the beginning of this, if you happen to be an attorney or know an attorney that has done good work for you in regards to surplus funds, we're looking for attorneys in the following states: Alabama, New Jersey, South Carolina, Virginia. Okay. So if you know somebody or you are an attorney that's interested, hit me up at my email, nick@overagerefund.com. Cool. All right. That's all I've got for you guys. Hope that helps. This is a good tip. Yeah, finding a young starting attorney willing to learn and offer them a bit of cash flow stability may be an option too. Absolutely, guys. Here's one last tip. When you're looking for an attorney, one of the biggest characteristics that you want to look for is their ability to communicate. Okay. And also, are they open-minded? Okay. A lot of attorneys are very narrowly focused and they're not open to doing things that are outside the norm, which surplus funds is very much outside the norm. It's not very common. Okay. But if you've got an attorney that is you want them to be upfront with you, right? And say, if they don't have experience, they will let you know. But if they're open to learning and working with you, that's just as good. A young, hungry attorney that's open to learning and is willing to communicate with you, I would take that attorney over a 30-year experienced attorney that just is set in their ways and doesn't want to do anything different than what they're used to. Okay. Communication is a huge thing when it comes to attorneys. So keep that in mind when you're looking at attorneys as well, is how well do they communicate? How quickly do they respond to you? Things of that nature. Okay. So I hope that helps as well. Title attorneys, I wouldn't know. I've never used a title attorney personally. Anything new in Michigan? Absolutely. Check, Bobby, I know you're in the course, so check out the 50 state guide. I've updated that to reflect the changes in the Michigan laws. There have definitely been some changes in Michigan. Okay. All right. That's all I've got for you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.